We're back here on our program, The Platform, and it was good to have young Patrick Lamb and Mr. Ferguson here. And Bianca, there are some speakers that they're going to have at St. John's on Saturday.
Oh yes, on Saturday it'll be a wonderful event like they were saying, and of course this is Mr. Delano Monroe's brainchild and baby, and he's the CEO of the Youth Empowerment Program. So he'll be making some remarks that evening, of course. And then there'll also be Miss Braithwaite, who's the representative from Ministry of Youth and Culture, along with the Honorable Member of Parliament, Mr. Chester Cooper.
Okay, very good. Chester Cooper from the Deputy Leader of the Progressive Liberal Party.
Yeah, so it'll be wonderful.
Very good. We are joined now by another guest on our program, Kendrick Rolle, who is the CEO of KRM Group, and he is Special Projects Officer in the Disability Affairs Division of the Department of Social Services. He's been on our program before, and it's good to have him here again today. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes, and you are president of the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind and Visually Impaired as well.
Yes, newly appointed just in April of this year.
Okay, and how long has this organization been in?
The Bahamas Alliance for the Blind and Visually Impaired will be celebrating their 23rd anniversary this coming March as a legal entity in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, as an organization for and of the blind, mandated to actively promote all effective measures for the preservation of sight, education, employment, and to do all things that is necessary to facilitate the integration of the blind in the Bahamian society.
Yeah, and you are also an organization that you find opportunities for the blind and visually impaired as well, yes?
Yeah, well, we are always seeking for opportunities, but we also do a lot of awareness campaigns and adjustment to blindness training and anything that will help blind and visually impaired people live more independent lives.
You know, I noticed that there are many persons like yourself, visually impaired, and you have the ability to do a whole lot of things for yourself. You just need little small assistance from time to time, eh?
Well, that's given the training and the opportunity, blind people can do anything that a sighted person can do. Like we always say, the only thing that a blind person cannot do is see. We do everything else.
The only thing you can't do is see.
That's the only thing I can't do. I could drive a car if you let me drive a car.
No. Those are the kind of things that you can't do.
No. That's what I can do it. You just wouldn't let me do it. I can do it.
He could do it if you let him.
If you let me.
Yeah. The point is, we wouldn't let you do it because you can't see where you're going.
Right.
That don't mean I can't drive a car.
No, you can drive a car. No, you can drive a car.
I can drive a car.
No doubt you can drive a car, but blind people don't drive.
No, so they shouldn't drive.
No, they don't. Not in this country.
It's best that they don't drive.
I've never seen a blind person drive a car in this country, but anyway,
Oh my
go
goodness.
ahead.
You know the lights on the road that make the bump when you cross over it? Somebody was asking me what those were for, and I made a joke and I said it was for the blind people to know when to change the lane. And they said, okay, like they believed it.
No, but actually in other parts of the world, that is what is used for the independent transportation, where the blind people go in the car and the car drives itself. That is how they follow the GPS system.
Oh, that's incredible.
With the reflectors in the road. That's why they have them throughout the country.
Yes.
And Germany and other parts of the world where they do have the self or those automated cars for blind persons.
And what other things can we do on this island to make it easier for a blind person to be able to get around?
Oh, the government doesn't have that kind of, there's so much that needs to be done. But mostly the GPS system technology has really helped to advance the lives of persons who are blind and visually impaired through the use of the smartphones, the laptop computers with our JAWS program, and stuff like that. But to make it even more accessible, we need print material in Braille. Yeah, that's mostly when things are easier put in the format they can use, then that life will be much easier. And also, the public needs to be aware of the white cane, which is used for independent, safe travel. The public is not aware of the importance of the cane, and they disrespect it. They need to have more respect for the tool and its importance in the lives of blind persons.
How can we respect the cane?
You have to know, when you see a person with a cane, realize that they are not just holding a stick, but that cane means that that is their way for travel, and it also identifies them as a blind person. So, for example, we had an adjustment to blindness training in August of this year, and as on the main streets, as they were learning to cross the road by themselves, they was using their cane in their air. People were pulling up and down, where y'all going in the road with this stick? You know, y'all choose the wrong time. They don't realize that these were just persons trying to lead more independent lives.
So blind persons with the white cane would come to your organization, and they would go through some training as well?
Yes, it's a mobility skills and adjustment to blindness training. We don't only train for the use of the white cane for safe independent travel. We also teach you how to cook, how to sort and wash your clothes, how to make craft and stuff like that for entrepreneurial ventures. You know, and there's also, our organization is also there for motivation, socialization with your peers, and just to participate in social and cultural life.
There are a whole lot of people who became blind as a result of glaucoma, yes?
Yes, medical diseases is the leading causes, and also the not being properly managed causes a lot of persons to go blind. Glaucoma, complications of diabetes, high blood pressure, these are all other leading cases of people going blind. And it's said that 80% of persons who became blind through those avenues didn't have to go blind. Once you properly manage your medical conditions, you can avoid blindness. You know, however, this continues to happen from year to year, and we find that there's still a lot of new cases of persons going blind.
Your organization is involved in prevention programs, blindness prevention?
Yes, sir. That is our main, that is one of our three main purpose: eye protection, sight preservation, and blindness prevention. That is what the Bahamas Alliance of Blind and Vision Impaired is all about.
Okay, and so you would have physicians, ophthalmologists.
We partner with a number of entities, especially the ophthalmic nursing program, and that's why we host Blindness Awareness Month each October. We have done that for the past 11 years.
And when you have these type programs, of course, you invite the medical doctors in to speak to your members, eh?
Yes, we partner with them, not only to our members, but we also reach out to schools, churches, civic organizations. We want to spread the message of sight preservation and blindness prevention to everybody, because becoming blind is traumatic. I became blind. I was a sighted man most of my life, and I became man. It was blind, and it was a traumatic transition. So to put the message out there is very important, so the persons can always protect their eyes.
So your blindness came over time?
Basically, I was, it was an act of violence. I was trying to be the peacemaker. I got hit in my eyes, and then over a 10-year period, I slowly watched myself became blind.
I see.
Yeah.
What kind of things did you have to learn to do as you were dealing with knowing that you were losing your eyesight?
Well, I kind of knew how to do a lot of things from being a sighted person. So as I became blind, it wasn't difficult for me to continue ironing, continue cooking, continue washing. But just moving around, learning to use the cane to travel from place to place, walk to community, jump on the bus, go downtown or to the mall, wherever I want to go. Just utilizing that cane and the importance of the cane. That was the greatest adjustment. Mentally, it's still a challenge, you know, because when you've been a person used to jumping in your car, going where you want to go, when you want to go, now having to depend on people, you know, that is my personal greatest challenge with the adjustment. But other than that, I think I would have adjusted well, and other persons in my situation would have done so also. At least those in the organization who would have come out and discussed it through our socializing. We would have all, I think we weathered the storm well. And but then each coming month we'd always meet new blind persons who have been blind for 8, 9, 10 years, but they have never came to an organization or they didn't know about the organization. They were just sitting there in grief, denial, just going through the stages. But once they would have joined the organization, they started leading more happier, independent lives, recognizing that blindness is the respect of no individual. It could happen to anyone, but once it happens to you, you still can lead a good, independent, happy life.
Yes. How
You
can
say
people?
happy,
Happy,
you
yes.
know, it doesn't have a psychological impact on you?
Yes, but that's what I said. There's something called blind psychology that some persons study. But once you realize that you still can do things and there are other people doing things that can motivate you, then you start to live a happier life.
How can people find out how to join this group?
It isn't difficult. You contact us at 427-2159, or you could contact the Disability Affairs Division of Department of Social Services at 325-2252 or 325-2262, and they will gladly put you in contact with the Bahamas Line for the Blind or any organization that assists persons with disabilities.
The major complaints that you have coming from the blind or visually impaired, it would be a disrespect for the white cane, that is one, yes?
Yes, transportation issues. Our organization spends a lot of money on transportation each year. And I don't know if it's because fuel prices are high or a person just realized that we need to depend on others for transportation. The cost is outrageous. But that is one of the greatest challenges for blind individuals. And then, of course, employment. We are able to do a lot of things, but yet we're just not given the chance or the opportunity to. But employment is another, and basically my organization, most of the persons are crying for employment.
Yeah, when you know, I know you said that, you can do anything once given an opportunity.
Training and opportunity,
yeah.
yes, we can.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you can do very easily?
Clerical work.
Clerical work.
Yes, of course, receptionist work. But you recognize that in other parts of the world, they have factories using only blind persons that do cannery, make parts for cars, stuff like that. But it just have to be set up for us.
And if people in the private sector would wish to give some assistance, of course they will dial one of those numbers that
Yes, sir.
that you mentioned. Give us a number again.
The number for the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind would be 427-2159, or contact Disability Affairs Division Department of Social Services at 325-2252 or 325-2262.
Okay. Disability Awareness Week, you are encouraging equality, I see here, and inclusiveness.
Yes. Disability awareness, the International Day for Persons with Disability, started in 1991 with the United Nations. This year, the theme is promoting the participation of persons with disabilities and their leadership and taking action on the 2030 Development Agenda. The 2030 Development Agenda is a goal set by United Nations to ensure that the conventional rights of persons with disabilities is at its completion and passed in all the participating nations, and by the year 2030 that there's full equality and inclusiveness for all persons with disabilities, and their slogan is "No one is left behind." So anything that is offered to a person without a disability should be equally offered to a person with a disability, and they should be given the equal opportunity.
Let me ask you what might be a provocative question, and some say it probably is a question that is not normally asked. the expectation of people who are blind, can it be too high?
Well, the expectation would be
Yeah.
high. It isn't a person who is blind. Everybody in a person life has expectations.
Yeah,
and so a blind person expectation isn't no higher than an average man. Everybody wants the best for themselves.
Yeah, but given the fact that you are blind, shouldn't you lower your expectation?
No, it should not. Because the only thing I cannot do is see. So anything that you want for yourself, I should want for myself.
But that is a very important thing, that being able to see is very important in human development. You expect equality.
Yes.
You expect inclusiveness.
Inclusiveness and opportunity across the board. So I shouldn't want no less for myself than the average man.
No less than the average man.
No less than the average man. You have a pretty lady, I deserve a pretty lady too, so I'll go for it.
And any opportunity that I get as a person who is
sighted man, I should have that same opportunity.
You should have any
Yes,
opportunity.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
My children are involved with choice model management, modeling and acting group. And there's the legally blind person that's doing the modeling, runway modeling and photographic modeling and also acting in the group. And he's very inspiring to see, and he's doing very well. So yeah, you could be anything that you want.
Yeah, that is, I hear you there, but shouldn't the public be concerned in terms of including visually impaired people, that you can hurt yourself if you are given any opportunity that a sighted person can have?
How can I hurt myself? Before working in disability affairs, I was in urban renewal. We were at Sanibel House, big hill on top of the high hill. I take the bus to work, I cross the road, I walk my way up to that high hill, up to the stairs, find my way in the elevator, go up to the 6th floor, move around the building, downstairs, upstairs. How can I hurt myself? The average man could hurt themselves if they're not paying attention. So, same thing.
So you got to learn the building.
That's all you have to do.
Learn
You learn
the
the
layout
environment.
and everything.
Yes.
And you were able to
Move around the
Move
building,
around.
and if people don't know I'm blind, they wouldn't know. I'm moving around the building freely, just like any sighted man.
with a white stick or
No, sir.
without a stick?
Without a stick. The white cane.
White cane, yes.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, the white cane.
I see a stick.
Yes, sir.
And you never found yourself in any danger at all?
Well, there's always danger, but like I say, even for a sighted person, there's danger if you're not paying attention, But with concerned citizens around, they would always alert you, let you know where there's something coming up, be careful. And also, a little bump on the foot or the head doesn't hurt you because it helps you to remember your environment. So, I could expect that when I move forward, X amount of feet, there's a pole there, so you should move slightly to the left or the right and maneuver around it. So it only helps you to sensitize you more of your environment.
And memory is extremely important.
So persons who are blind, they are beyond the memory.
Yeah.
They are real elephants, or even better than elephants. You have to remember. I think I have about, if I don't have 2,000 phone numbers stored in my brain, I don't know if some phones have that.
Yeah. And you are able to use any cell phone or smartphone without difficulty?
Yes, all smartphones now has a program that talk back, so that is how we are able. And then, of course, before we got to the smartphones, all phones have a standard code and alert button, which is on the 5. That will the indicator will let you know that you're at 5. So therefore, then the universal setup from now.
Okay, interesting. You have a number of activities before we run out of time.
Yes.
Talk about the activities that you're going to have.
This coming Sunday, December 1st, will be the start of Disability Awareness Week. It runs from December 1st to the 7th, and there are a number of activities happening. First, On Sunday morning at 7 a.m., there's going to be the walk and wheel in solidarity, where we bring persons with all disabilities to come together at Malcolm Park. And we'll just do, not only for exercise, but for awareness. We walk straight through to Bay Street, straight to our Key, to let them know that it's the start of Disability Awareness Week.
What time will that be happening?
That starts at 7 a.m., so everybody in place by 6:30, 6:45 the latest. And we step off at 7 a.m. for Malcolm Park. There's no registration fee. However, we were selling T-shirts just in support of Disability Awareness Week. Then at 11 a.m., there's a church service at Bible Truth Ministries. That's just off Cowpen Road. I think you could take the access from Hollywood Boulevard and brings you straight around to the church. That's at 11 a.m. Then on Tuesday, which is International Day for Persons with Disabilities, that's December 3rd, we're going to have a big celebration rally concert there at the Collins Estates ground. That's the old education, just there on Collins Avenue and Shirley Street, that big open yard there. We'll have it set up. There's going to be a number of presentations and performances from the various special needs schools, the Aaron Gilmore School for the Blind, Stapleton, Reach, the Center for the Deaf, as well as persons with disabilities from the various non-government organizations. They'll be doing their performance, just displaying their talents, and in form of song, drama, comedy, poetry. We're also going to have a full display from all the non-government organizations for persons with disabilities and the schools. All their art, their craft, their talent, their literature, whatever they do is going to be on display for the general public to come and see what they are doing. On Friday evening, there's going to be the Jolly Extravaganza dinner show at the Bahamas National Art Gallery. That is going to be put on by the Center for the Disabled. They would put on a show, a dinner and a fashion show, where they'll be displaying the stuff that they do, where they do clothing, facets for the hair, bags, corsages, everything they make at the training center for the disabled will be on display during that fashion show that evening. On Saturday morning, it's bocce and basketball tournament at the Stapleton School grounds. That is put on by Special Olympics Bahamas. They put that on Saturday morning. I think it starts at about 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Also on that Saturday morning, the Philadelphia Seventh-day Adventist Church, they will be having their Disability Awareness Week church service for the 7th day. For those who would have missed the Sunday's service, they do that there that Sunday morning. And then that evening, to close out Disability Awareness Week, it's going to be the Dine in the Dark. That is an initiative to bring greater awareness to blindness. Dine in the Dark is going to be a dinner held at the Blue Mansion in Southwest West. And the unique experience of that is when you reach that dinner, you'll be blindfolded. And then you spend not the entire evening, but you do have your whole dinner experience just being blind, so you can understand the life of a blind individual and how they would sit and have dinner and what's not. So that is the full Disability Awareness Week schedule. We want to encourage the general public to come out to these events and support us as we try to encourage equality and inclusiveness for all.
I love that idea of schedule of events, and I definitely want to participate. So we'll be posting the schedule of events on the show, but how can people find the schedule of events and how much each event costs? Okay,
well, for the most part, the events are free, except the 2 dinner shows for Friday night and Saturday night. But like I say, you can always call Disability Affairs at 325-2252 or 325-2262, and they will be able to put you in contact with the necessary persons for all the events, where you could get tickets and more information right there at Disability
Do you know if
Affairs.
it's available online?
We do not have a site at this time, but I'm sure yourself and Mr. Jones will do a good job at assisting us with getting that up on your site.
Yes, definitely.
to
I will
ensure that the public is aware of what we're doing.
Yes.
Kendrick Rolle, you're an outstanding spokesman for the Disability Affairs Division of the Department of Social Services, as well as president of the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind and Visually Impaired. How many people do you have a member of your association?
Well, the organization is about 50 strong now,
Okay.
but I guarantee you there are much more blind persons out there. I guess by the end of this show we may have another 2 or 3 individuals coming
So
on.
you encourage them to
Yes,
become
we always
members?
encourage them to come and join the Bahamas Alliance for the Blind. It's the home for persons who are blind and visually impaired, where you can socialize with your peers and just adjust the blindness gracefully.
And you can learn on how to deal with the issues, eh?
Yes, at all times.
At all
yes,
times.
Yes,
Well, thank you so very much for being here today.
you're very welcome, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Bianca.
Thank you, too.
Thank you for watching and listening to our program, and we hope that you support these organizations that we brought on our program today. Good evening, everyone.